Hey, welcome everybody. This is I guess a do-over from this video. Apparently it loses audio at some point, and it looks like it happens about right here when the project is built. Alright, so let's get ahead and hit play, and I'll just mute the audio because there's no audio. And I'll do my best to tell you what's going on here. So what I'm doing here is showing you the application. The quality of the video is not so great. I'm seeing here. We have the Gradle scripts there, and I'm showing you that where the layout is, which is activity main XML. That is where you would design your program. So with an Android, you have an XML document, and then above that is where you drag and drop your objects. So that is pretty straightforward. So I'm kind of probably going through some of that right now. I'm actually going to kind of fast forward a little bit here. Alright, so I'm showing you here, let's kind of go back here. I'm showing you here where you can actually highlight R, which is for resource. You right click on it, and I'm going to show you how to jump to that defining information. So go to jump to navigator declaration, and it should take you directly to the resource itself. So resource is very important when developing the content of your Android app, because you need to call back to the resource. Let's see what else is going on here. So I'm showing you where you have different. You could have project, but you always want to be an Android. You can't run your application through project, but project gives you a list of all the different files that is in your application. So let's kind of get to the important stuff. I probably do a lot of talking here. Alright, so what I'm doing here is just showing you R Java. Alright, where am I going to get to it? Alright, here we go. Alright, so we go into the activity main. It automatically has hello world there. So anytime you create a new application, I'm going to say go away from that. As you see, there's Kotlin there. This has like different design patterns that you can follow. So we're showing you how to add a new resource. So I'll show you a couple tricks on that, how to do that. So we're adding a resource that looks like new layout. This is when you want to create multiple pages. You want to have multiple layouts. You can't use the same page. And just hit OK. And there you go. As you see here, we have two layouts. We have the activity main, and now we have the new layout. These guys right here are all our objects that we could use in our application. There's a bunch of dragging and dropping. So as I drag the button right here, now I'll pause it for a second, talk about this a little bit. So the button's very important, because if you put the button right there and you go and hit run, and which I would suggest try to do it to see what you get, your button will probably appear somewhere up here in the left hand corner. So it has to have a constraint built. So this, when you right click on this and drag it to the top, you'll do the same thing from here, here, and there. What it does is it allows you to position where you want your button to be on the screen, because now it's connected to the wall. Okay, so again, hit play, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm just dragging my button up here, and this is a new feature within Android Studio. Previously, it was a different way. You didn't have the bars. Boy, I'm going really slow. I'm actually going to speed this up a little bit. Alright. Maybe not that much, because then you guys will miss something there. Alright, so now I have my constraint built there, and I don't know where my screen went. I think I'm trying to run my emulator, it looks like. Yep, it's just trying to run an emulator. I don't remember exactly what I was saying. So I apologize for that. Let's see here. So it does pop up eventually, it looks like. Oh, come on. I wanted to show you the emulator. Okay. There's an emulator right there. It had the hello world, but we had to, something happened. So when I ran it, it only brought up hello world, which meant is it's still seeing activity main, and we need to change that. Okay, so we wanted to see the new layout, not that old layout. So that plays a role. So activity main is the default. So as you see here, when I click on r.layout, which is resource, you have your different layouts. So now what I'm saying here is I want to use the new layout because that is where I wanted to start at. Okay, so that's what I'm assuming I'm going to change it to. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So I changed that so that way when I load my emulator, okay, it popped up for half a second there. There you go. I'll pause it for a second. So now since I changed it and ran it, guess what? My button appears there. So think of that as, let's say that you wanted to have a splash page, and you have your splash page comes up, which maybe shows your application, and then it goes into your app. This is where you would start it at. Okay. Perfect. Pretty awesome stuff there. Doesn't do anything yet, but it's a start. All right. Allows me to fast forward a little bit, which is good, because I'm just going on about that. All right, so we're going to go back in our application. Looks like we're going to do something over here with constraints. So we're going to choose, let's see, what am I going to choose? All right, so the widget button. All right, so I choose the different color. So now what I'm doing is changing the foreground. So you could change this here, or you could change it in your code. You can change the background. I'm not sure if that's what I'm going to do here. I don't remember. So what I'm doing here, it looks like I'm in set. So I'm changing the course of it, the process of how it's laid out, I guess. So it looks a little bit different. So now you click on it, hovers over, it has like a jQuery JavaScript functionality to it. Nothing to blow you out of the water, but something to get started. Alright, so what I'm doing here is I'm going up to, I'm sure I'm pulling something over. Text, so I'm pulling over text view. And I'll put it there. You have to do the same thing with text view. You have to grab it and you have to pull it here. And now in this case, you have to pull it down to the button. So it's, well, now I think about it. If I was redoing this again, I'd pull it down to the button, not at the bottom, but that will work. Not sure why I did that. So when you're doing, you could pull to the button and use that as your foundation. That will be fine. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a new resource. All right, so now we have a text view, which basically means nothing, because we haven't used it to input any information in there yet. So we go back to the code there. I'm trying to pull stuff around, it looks like. Don't know what that is. All right, so we're back in the main activity again. And it looks like I'll write some code. All right, so I'm going to declare a button at the top here. So when you want to talk to your button and do certain things with it, you have to go into the main activity.java. And what I'm doing is declaring a button and calling it button submit, and I'm making it a private so that it can be accessed by or instantiated by other classes outside of that. So I'm making it internally private here. So now I'm going to come down and describe my object, which is button submit equals, and I'm going to describe what type of thing it is, button. So as you notice here, you'll also want to make sure that you have your, now we already probably have it up here, the import. We already have that library. So if you do something I type on here and it's not there, that just means that we haven't added to the library yet. All right, so we're saying that button submit equals button, which is the name of the object. We need to find the resource. So we're taking resource.id.button submit. So what that means is it's taken that value. So like we created a button on the other page, which is what I would go to right now. We have that button. So when you click on that button on the activity, the XML file, and click properties, it has an ID attached to it. So what we're doing here is we're saying, hey, button, where's the ID at? And that's what we're trying to find. It looks like I might have named it something different, because when it has the red here, that means that it probably can't find it. At least that's what I'm thinking. Yes, he cannot resolve button. So at this point, I'm thinking of what is going on. All right, maybe I had to refresh it, but there it is right there. So make sure that you have. All right, so why am I typing it again? I must be silly as can be. I'm probably telling you something I did. So important thing is make sure that whatever ID you have on, kind of go right here. So if you see down here, you can't see it, but above here on your activity main page, well, not your activity main, you have a different activity page, but your XML page, make sure whatever that value is, it's the same thing as this, and you'll be golden. All right. So hopefully I take you there, but who knows? All right, so layout, yes, new layout. There you go. You click on that button, whatever that property is, it should be that. Yep. Right. See. All right. So let's go down. There we go. And what am I going to type there? Something. All right, so you can zoom in here, which is nice. All right, so I'm probably going to put some type of value in here. Looks like. Button submit dot set text. So we're going to set whatever that. Well, this is actually going to set the text of the button itself. Let me think about that. Button set text. Hello, students. Oh, it'll pass. Okay. Yeah, why is it keep doing it? Alright, so I'm trying to see what I'm doing here. I bet I'm changing that value. Yep. See? That's why it didn't work, is I had it set for button. Remember I told you it should be button submit based off the ID, and I was wondering why it even worked. Appeared up there, that ID, it showed button submit. I don't know what was going on. So I come up here and you're welcome, Alexis. I come up here and I put button submit on here. So that is going to fix the problem that we were having on the previous page. Like it was, the video was crapping out. So now it could find the ID. It wasn't able to find it before. So now it's going through here. And hello, students. So what that does is it changes, I pause it for a second. That changes the value of the button itself. That doesn't change this value. So probably what we'll want to do is declare text view up here. And we'll want to click the button and change this. So we'll say whatever this text view is, say it's text view 1. If you want it to be text view 1, for example, you'll say text view 1 dot set text equals something, but you'll have to set the relationship. But I'm sure I do that already, so not a problem. So let's see what it's doing here. All right, so play game. So we're just changing, that's just changing the text of it. All right, so I'm changing the color. So I'm setting the text. Anything that you do your object dot something, you can change the course of the value of it. So we change it to red. Perfect. Nothing in text view. I'm assuming I'm going to do something in the next video on that assumption. Now we're going to show you how to do the background, which is blue, which not sure why. So you have to do color.red. Right, so you could click on over here and you can bring up the different options that are available. Same thing here. You could go in the background. You could choose a solid color, or you could choose a gradient, or you can even choose an image of yourself if you want. You could do whatever you want to do at that point. So I'm just kind of showing you around what you can and can't do, what is available, what isn't available. It's a good start for that. No, that looks awful. I can't even see it, but it's just as an example to show you. And I think we're pretty much done here with this video. So I'll check the other videos and make sure that we have no problems with those videos. But this one right here is pretty straightforward and done. And actually, while I'm there, let me go into, actually it's right there. Let me make sure. So that was, I think that was this one here, and this was the second one, which, all right, for some reason I can't pull it up there. In case video doesn't start up, design to string. So let me go out to my page real quick and see what I got here. So that was, that's a different Android app, not that one. Right here. So that was strings. Yeah, this one here. I just want to make sure. Just fast forward it through a little bit. That one looks fine. Alright, so that one seemed, my sound is jacked up, but that seems to be fine. Let's see here. Number 3, number 4. I just want to make sure that these guys aren't, that was 3. I want to make sure these other guys aren't messed up either. Yes. Alright. Looks like this has no sound too. Alright. Yeah, it looks like number 4, design app, doesn't have any sound. So let me look into that. I'll get back to you. So this is the first video. Maybe another one's coming. Thanks for watching, guys.